Malaysian 370, contact Ho Chi Minh 120.9. Good night.
Good night, Malaysian 370.
Breaking news tonight, a Malaysia Airlines flight with 239 people on board, including 4 Americans, has gone missing.
Scripture, the Bhagavad Gita, Vishnu is trying to persuade the prince that he should do his duty, and to impress him takes on his multi-armed form and says, "Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds."
Carl Sagan.
We're very powerful. This country is very powerful. It's far more powerful than people understand. We have weaponry that nobody has any idea what it is, and it is the most powerful weapons in the world that we have. More powerful than anybody, not even close.
We seem to have lost focus and vision, to have lowered our sights and let systems and structures and bureaucracies muddle us along. But we are capable of so much more. Our technologies permit us to manipulate time and space. They leave distance annihilated, cause things to grow, and improve productivity.
Welcome. Happy Friday, everybody. Welcome to the live stream. I hope you guys are having a great night. I have a great show for you today. I hope you guys are excited. Guys, welcome to my politics arc. Oh, it's happening. It's happening, chat. First thing right off the bat. The apology form has been updated. The Ashton Forbes apology form has been updated, chat. Ooh, big updates. If you are one of the woke right conspiratards, here is your apology form. Get used to it. You're going to be seeing a lot of it over the next few weeks and months. We've got, I listen to grifters. Don't ever do that. I'm obsessed with the Jews. I didn't respect Erica Kirk, Charlie Kirk's wife. I have brain rot. I can't think critically. Aren't all conspiracies the same? Or I didn't wait for the evidence. But the most important one at the bottom, I will hereby respect Ashton Forbes and his brilliant political takes. That's possibly the most important one. That one must be checked for every single apology form, chat. Guys, people need to stop underestimating me. They need to stop underestimating me. I have no lanes. There are no boundaries on my topics, on what I discuss. So let me just throw out a pretty big surprise for you guys right now. Are you ready for this? I have found Edward Lin. What? I listened to a voicemail message today that was Edward Lin. And I left a message. It was Edward Lin. No question, no doubt. I'm not going to say any more information about what happened related to it, because now I have a direct line. Is he going to call me back? Probably not. I'd say about a 0.00% chance that he calls me back. But I did leave a message. In that message, I said, this is Ashton Forbes. We need to talk. And I said the same thing that I've told you guys and said here publicly, which is why I don't mind saying it. But I told him he deserves to live a happy life. He does. But so do the families of MH370. So I hope that he calls me back. Here's my deal for Edward Lin. I told him as well, I'm not going to harass him. I'm not going to bug him or whatever. He doesn't have to worry about that. Edward Lin doesn't have to come out publicly so long as he tells me the circumstances of how those videos got on the internet. Because obviously he didn't maliciously leak those videos or he would be dead. I mean, he leaked nuclear weapons. He leaked nuclear weapons videos. So if he did it intentionally, there's no way he would have ever been out of prison. So something happened for those videos to get out through him where he was indirectly responsible. All he has to do is tell me how it happened. And this will work out. The reason why this will work out is because he probably doesn't want to go public because they'll attack him and try to destroy him the same way they've been doing to me. And it's not easy to deal with all the Redditors. By the way, the Redditors are going to prison. The Redditors, if you're a Redditor, you're going to prison. You're going to jail. Get used to it. You're going to jail. You're going to jail, little man. So get ready. That's your future. You're going to prison. But he probably doesn't want to be attacked. And I don't really care at this point anyway. So as long as he just tells me the circumstances, then people can just say like, oh, Ashton's making this up. I don't care. I just want to know the truth for myself. I don't care who believes it or who doesn't believe it. So Edward Lynn, if you are out there, just tell me, just have a private conversation with me. I won't leak the private conversation. I won't leak the recording or anything like that. And just tell me how those videos got on the internet. There you go. That's the big reveal for tonight. Guys, we have incepted Nick Fuentes and you are blackpilling? It is a joyous occasion. It is an absolutely joyous occasion. If you were not paying attention, if somehow you were not... Wait, am I going to get banned for showing this? I don't know what the deal is with showing Nick Fuentes content. He's like permanently banned from Twitter, from YouTube. I don't know. I don't even care. We're taking the risk, chat. We're taking the risk. If you were not watching, I did send him a super chat yesterday. Here you go, chat. Here you go. Get ready for this.
Ashton Forbes sent $50. I apologize for misjudging you. You showed integrity. Charlie Kirk assassination. Don't get teleported away. The world needs you.
Yeah, I appreciate it. You were kind of shitty with me for a while, but I appreciate the apology. I accept. And I will look into the warp drives. I will look into the warp drives and the teleportation device. I'll check it out.
Ashton Forbes sent $50. I apologize.
Listen, I want to listen to it again. I need to listen to it a second time.
The world needs you.
Yeah, I appreciate it. You were kind of shitty with me for a while, but
it's true.
I appreciate the apology. I accept. And I will look into the warp drives. I will look into the warp drives and the teleportation device. I'll check it out.
Okay. So people wonder, Ashton, why do you care? Why do you care about Nick Fuentes? Man, what, dude, StreamYard is so broken right here. What is this? What's going on? There we go. So first of all, Nick Fuentes is a major upcoming influencer. No question. He's young. People are watching him. I think there was like 40,000 people watching him. I didn't realize how huge he is, but he's just getting bigger and bigger. And I don't agree with him on like his racial views or things like that, but I think he's a smart, intelligent guy. But the most important part was that he was honest and showed integrity regarding the Charlie Kirk situation. And so I left a little message there. I don't need to have a conversation with him. I'm not trying to clout chase. I don't really care how many people watch me or follow me. But I wanted him to know. I wanted him to know that he's right about the corruption in politics. Absolutely. And I agree from an America first perspective, we should be taking care of America before we take care of foreign countries. That seems like a very simple worldview. And what he should know is that the problem is way, way worse than what he thinks. It's way worse than what he thinks. It's not just a matter of all this foreign money and influence and lobbying, but also a matter of the military industrial complex is basically picking winners. And it's a big incestuous relationship. So as much as he thinks that like Peter Thiel is the Antichrist, you've got other people like Sam Altman, Joe Lonsdale. You got companies like Helion Fusion, Sierra Nevada Corporation that we found that are all have like, board of directors as generals and admirals, and they know this technology exists, and then they profit off of it without the public knowing. So I think that I hope that he understands that this isn't a thing about aliens or UFOs or weird shit like that. And if it's too much to believe in warp drives and teleportation, then ignore that. Then just consider those videos a nuke that is annihilating the plane. If that makes it easier for people to understand, then look at it like that. That's fine by me as well. I really don't care that much. But just realize they literally nuked MH370 with an aneutronic fusion bomb, right? Okay, the next thing tonight, guys. The Charlie Kirk situation has finally been solved. Yes, you heard me correctly. And got to show, there was a major update from Candace Owens here. Major update, chat. Turns out Candace Owens now, this is posted on her, I don't know, what is this, Instagram or something, chat? I don't understand social medias. Candace Owens now, Tyler Robinson is not suicidal. The entire narrative was placed in the media about him having been suicidal is completely fictional. There are many other aspects of what we've been told. Ooh, sounds spooky, chat. Sounds spooky. His father having turned him in after the confession is also complete fiction. Wow, that's a big claim. That's a big claim. I wonder when she's going to bring the receipts to back up this big claim that she's got going on here. To the contrary, Tyler Robinson maintains his innocence even after being to the UVU campus. I mean, I think what she means is he pled not guilty, which basically everybody does, even when they're guilty as hell. Okay. There's absolutely zero photos or video that the campus can produce to the contrary. Okay, she's starting to lose me here because we saw some video, but maybe there's an explanation. Let's keep an open mind. Let's keep an open mind. Okay? Which is why they have produced nothing other than blurry image, which Tyler's family knows is not him. Well, that's interesting because that goes against what was reported where the father said he literally recognized his own son on the video. The federal government is lying about absolutely everything other than the fact that it is his gun. Wait, what? Wait, what? Okay. Anything else, Candace? Not that we needed further substantiation, but Tyler Robinson did not author those Discord messages. Who did? I mean, it was definitely Tyler Robinson's Discord account that posted those messages. So is he saying that somebody else posted the messages? Who could it be? She's going to have more on this later, guys. We're going to pay attention to this breaking story as it evolves, but I have a live look into Candace Owens right now. Here we go.
Not the bees! Not the bees!
Not the bees!
Not the Polish farming communist bees!
The communist bees, chat. You have to be careful of the communist bees. You never know. And also, guys, like, look, we're just asking questions here, chat. We're just asking questions. So I went back to my boy, Nick Fuentes. We're now like this, obviously. And we have solved the case. We solved it, chat. We figured it out. Look, I'm allowed to think. So anybody telling me that I'm not allowed to solve the mystery, yeah, I'm just jacking off here, guys. Don't be a bigot, please. Otherwise, you're going to have mandatory DEI training. Please, everybody. Here we go. My boy solved the mystery. Here it is. We're now besties. Man, the StreamYard is totally messed up right now. Okay, here we go. Let's give him the full screen. Let's give him a full screen, chat.
Energy blast sent out from a device disguised as a camera. That's why they took it down. Why do you think they rushed up to take down the camera from behind? It wasn't no camera. That was an advanced high-tech energy weapon, and that's why you're never going to find a bullet.
So it's so obvious. It was so obvious. It was a directed energy weapon from the camera behind him. Duh, chat. Duh.
Everybody else there, patsies. Every single one of them. The guy giving signals, patsy. The guy that adjusted his arm in the front, patsy. Tyler Robinson and the boyfriend, patsies. Palm pistol shooter. The Israeli security guards. The, those people that came in to repave the cement afterward. Who do you think ran that construction company? Urban Moving System.
Patsies, chat. All of them. All the thousands of people in the audience, all patsies. It was so obvious in retrospect. Like, guys, we're going to get to who actually did it, by the way, because all these other Mossad agents who've been pushing disinformation out there, they're all paid off. They're all paid off to distract from the real culprit. All these patsies out there. I mean, who could be the actual person responsible? Nick, tell us.
Come on, guys. Try to keep up. I know this is sophisticated stuff.
It's
keep
very sophisticated.
Up, please. Candace Intelligence Agency is on the case. Candace Intelligence. Well, would you be surprised to know? Would you be surprised to know that
Here we go. Are you ready? Here it is.
Brigitte Macron was the shooter? You know who's in town for the United Nations right now? Emmanuel Macron. I wonder where his wife ran off to. Was it like Fortnite where she went to a porta potty and she popped up at UVU? Popped up, took the shot, came back to the UN. No one ever noticed she was gone. Frankest shapeshifter.
Chat, it was Brigitte Macron the whole time. We've solved the mystery. We have solved the mystery. Anybody that doesn't believe in this absolute proof that we just posted, I saw the video, chat. Have you not seen the video of Emmanuel Macron on the side of the road being blocked by Trump? Who's not in that video? Those are the questions we have to ask. Who's not in that video? Brigitte Macron. It turns out Tyler Robinson's transgender boyfriend is actually Brigitte Macron. It was a big cover-up to distract from the Candace Owens lawsuit. It was so obvious the whole time. Obvious the whole time, chat. So be careful of all of these grifters that need to stay in their lane. They need to stay in their lane talking about whatever stupid crap they talk about. They're trying to push conspiracy theories and try to blame Israel when in the end, it turned out that it was Brigitte Macron. Case solved. FBI, hit me up whenever you want, by the way. Hit me up and I'll give you all that evidence and we can just solve this bad boy. Absolutely amazing, chat. And turns out, here we have some footage of it. We have some footage. Here you go. This is Brigitte Macron climbing off the roof, chat. Here it is. Look at that. OMG. Proved it. Proved it. There you go. It's Brigitte Macron. Obviously, you can tell it looks just like him / her. I know Brigitte Macron. I can recognize Brigitte from a mile away. Easy. Easy and done with. Boom. Oh, man. Okay, so anybody that tries to discredit this information, they're automatically paid off by either Qatar or Mossad, easily. And you may say, Ashton, why would Mossad pay to discredit, to prevent people from thinking it's them? Because it's the classic reverse psychology. Classic reverse psychology. You implicate yourself. You pay a bunch of people to say that it's Israel to make themselves look stupid, when in the end, it was Brigitte Macron the whole time. Boom. Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay, guys. Now that we've solved the Charlie Kirk case, solved the Charlie Kirk mystery, I don't think we're going to have to go and talk about that anymore, hopefully. Hopefully. It was clearly Brigitte Macron with a directed energy weapon, jumping off the roof. And then she time traveled to the future and met up with Emmanuel Macron in New York or wherever the hell he was. Done. Solved. Okay. Next thing, guys. Let's get serious. Last week, Lockheed Martin made a big announcement. They said, ooh, we're going to have this big announcement. Ooh, spooky. It's going to be plasma-y. And they had this big plasma thing, and then this Skunkworks logo came up. Well, I have to go ahead and say, guys, we just got jebaited. We got jebaited, chat. Turns out it was not a plasma fusion reactor. Turns out it was some kind of dildo drone or whatever the hell this thing is. Here we go. What is this? It's a dildo drone. Vectis. Oh, we better go full screen. Okay. This is it. That's it. Just some drone that shoots missiles. Well, that was what the big announcement was for. This. Okay, hold on, where's this music? Go away, music. Once again, we got Jebaited. Yeah, this is some old tech. There's nothing about this that's new or special. In fact, I don't even know why they played this up. I don't know why they played this up because, like, we already have drones that can shoot missiles. It's called an MQ-9 Reaper drone. Shoots Hellfire missiles. So, I don't know. But I will say this, just to be serious for a second. It is possible this thing may use a plasma sheath. In fact, I would be surprised if there are crafts that they're producing now that don't use plasma sheaths. And anything that can go, you know, supersonic or beyond is going to use a plasma sheath. Now, what I look for is the heat exchange. So normally what you're going to see is you're going to see like a tube in front where it's sucking air in. And it will look like a turbine engine, but it's not going to have room for a turbine. And then it'll have, you know, exhaust going out the back. And it'll basically just be a pass-through. And there may be one on here, but I'm not really sure. But anyway, Lockheed Martin's messing with us. Not funny, Lockheed. Not funny. Just give us the plasma fusion propulsion technology. We know you have it. We know you have it. Literally, Charles Chase compact fusion reactor. It went dark. We know it didn't disappear. We know your compact fusion reactor didn't disappear. So just tell us the truth. Tell us the truth about your plasma, your plasma drone. Anyway, I wanted to give an update. And sure, you know what? Even though I don't like UAP GERB, and honestly, all these UFO people are cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, and we have to keep the aliens away from them. Even though that's the case, sure, go check out his Lockheed Martin thing. I mean, they're catching up to us slowly but surely, chat. Eventually, these guys are going to start talking about compact fusion reactors, and they're going to pretend like I didn't already reveal it like years beforehand. Now, in light of that, let's go up ahead and play this clip. I used to listen on a lot of these spaces. Guys, don't join these UFO spaces. They're just... The one that freaked me out the most was listening to Danny Sheehan, who probably a nice guy. I've talked to his wife before, but my God, the only thing they could talk about was how the aliens were sexually assaulting people. That was like their favorite topic. Like the way they talked about it creeped me out, right? It's like the way how people are afraid that trans people are like sexual predators. I'm afraid that like these UFO people are going to like sexually assault the aliens when they come. Like keep the aliens. If they are out there, they need to stay away from Earth because we got a lot of sick sexual predators here who want to do some weird shit to the aliens. Real talk. Keep the aliens safe, chat. We might have to start a new movement, actually. Now, I'm making this up right now. Keep the aliens safe from left-wing nut jobs who want to have sex with them. Chat, hashtag keep the aliens safe, guys. We have to turn this into a real movement, guys. We have to keep those aliens safe. It's not that the problem was never the aliens probing us. The problem is we were trying to probe the aliens. I always was reverse psychology, chat. Okay. Next big news, guys. Next big news. Hal Puthoff responded to one of my emails. The GOAT, chat. The GOAT himself responded to one of my emails. Now, if you've been paying attention the last few weeks, I have recently been revealing that the MH370 videos are a neutronic thermonuclear weapon. No, this doesn't mean the story is changing. The story has not changed at all. The story has basically been untouched for almost 2 years now. Okay? Practically exactly the same. That plane is getting hit by a nuke. Those orbs of plasma are the fission trigger. First stage trigger. The plane is loaded with lithium-ion batteries. Lithium-6 is a fusion payload in a thermonuclear weapon. The plane is being disappeared in an aneutronic fusion reaction. That's why there's no heat coming off of it. That's why it's black in here, because it's aneutronic. If it was releasing neutrons, this thing would be white hot. It would be like... And I highly, highly suspect that this huge amount of energy, electricity, is polarizing the vacuum. It's interacting with the 0-point energy, which quite literally displaces space-time, rips a hole in space-time. Okay. So then what does this mean for the plane? Everybody's in my replies wondering what this means for the plane. It really doesn't change it at all. That plane, I have basically written off anybody from surviving that. I was already writing them off because of the fire event. So once again, condolences to the families, because there's basically no way anybody survived. And even if they survived and they go through that, there's no guarantee that wherever that comes out on the other side, no guarantee it's coming out in one piece. No guarantee at all. It's very possible that we've got a Philadelphia experiment type situation, or like imagine a black hole where you go into the black hole and you just get ripped to shreds. So until we can see videos on the other side, which, by the way, they definitely recorded videos on the other side, 100%. Until we can see that, we just don't know exactly what happened to the plane. Now, if you want me to speculate, there are two options. If the plane came out in one piece, it probably went to Diego Garcia. It probably ended in Diego Garcia, and that's why they didn't let anybody go near Diego Garcia or anything like that. Second option, it got ripped to shreds. It got ripped to shreds, and the pieces spread out throughout the Indian Ocean, the Western Indian Ocean, and then washed ashore in Africa. So if we're going to find the plane, it's probably in the bottom of the ocean, somewhere near the Maldives, somewhere near Diego Garcia, or literally at Diego Garcia, one or the other. But not looking good for anybody on board that plane. Let's take a look at the Hal Puthoff email. Now, keep in mind, when I found out it's an aneutronic fusion bomb, what I want to do is figure out who knows and who doesn't know. So I started emailing people. I started emailing Larry Forsley. He didn't respond. He basically ghosted me after. Larry Forsley basically said he would do my podcast and said, oh, I've got to go get it approved by NASA. And then he just never responded again. And I know what happened, right? Like, he looks me up and he sees my content. He's like, oh, shit. Okay, we can't do that. We can't do that, which is fine by me. And then I also emailed Garrett Modell. And I'm like, hey, Garrett, what's up, homie? And I'm not going to show Garrett's email, but Professor Modell, University of Colorado physics professor, basically told me that the DoD reached out to him regarding his patent. And they had a short conversation and determined it's all good and nothing ever happened. And Garrett Modell told me that they basically lost a lot of money trying to build that Casimir cavity microchip. And he said the microchip can never be a thermonuclear weapon. So I responded to Garrett Modell and I said, bro, no offense, but I'm not talking about microchips making thermonuclear weapons. The Casimir cavity patent and those microchip patents, those are going to power a cell phone, right? Or like some small device like this. You put a microchip in here and now I don't need to put the batteries in here anymore, right? Like that's what the microchip patent is for. When you're making something that's going to make a wormhole, this is where we need plasma. We need something much, much more powerful. So what I learned is that Garrett Modell has no clue whatsoever. This is not a slight on him. He's a smart guy, but he's not a nuclear physicist. So I could tell immediately based on his response that he has no idea about the videos. He doesn't know what the videos are showing, and he doesn't know anything about thermonuclear weapons. And this is where, like last night, I was reading about Fogbank, which we're going to talk about at the end of the stream here. And I realized, holy shit, like I am like actually like one of not very many people on this earth that understand thermonuclear weapons. This is the reason why so many people don't understand the MH370 videos, because so few people understand what a thermonuclear weapon looks like. We have been kind of brainwashed into thinking that it's like the thermonuclear weapons from the 1940s, and nobody has ever seen them since then. So honestly, you guys all on this stream, you probably know more about thermonuclear weapons than 99% of physics PhD professors do. Keep that in mind, which I just think is a crazy statistic. I legitimately look forward to learning even more about thermonuclear weapons until they come knocking on the door. I was talking to my barber today, and he's saying, like, how far do you have to push this before they come find you? And I said, I don't know, but we're going to find out where that line is. We are going to learn in real time where the line is on thermonuclear weapon theory. Going to be fun, chat. I can't wait. If I get locked up, no regrets, chat. No regrets. Okay, so Garrett Modell has no idea, but I told Garrett Modell directly. I said, Hal Puthoff knows, your buddy Charles Chase knows, and so does Eric W. Davis. They all know, and they're very well trained, and they know what to say and what not to say. I think this was the impetus for Hal Puthoff responding to me, because Modell did not reply back to my last email. And then Hal Puthoff responds. I sent Hal Puthoff an email a couple days ago, and he responds the next morning. So here's the Hal Puthoff email. I'm going to read the whole thing to you guys. His response is very short, but I think it's also very telling. Because what did we learn from Eric W. Davis? We learned that these guys have been trained by the CIA. They've literally been trained by the CIA to know how to avoid questions and dodge questions and gaslight and all this other BS. And by the way, I saw somebody, because this whole thing was kind of going viral this morning in the UFO community, because, people don't get responses from Hal Puthoff that much. And I saw at least one person going, Hal Puthoff doesn't know anything. You need to research Hal Puthoff more. Bro, I might be one of the world's leading experts on Hal Puthoff. Okay? I've watched literally everything that is available on Hal Puthoff on the internet. I've read more papers than anybody. And I've seen every single thing about him on the internet. And I will tell you 100% this guy knows. He literally commissioned the DIRDs, the Defense Intelligence Reference Documents. They are aneutronic fusion, warp drives. It's literally everything we're seeing in the videos. There's no chance in hell he doesn't know. He's former CIA and DIA, Defense Intelligence Agency. Okay? So this guy knows. Let's take a look at his email. Can you guys see this? Kind of small, huh? I'll make it bigger. Wait, can I make this bigger? Okay, I'll just read it. Hello, Dr. Puthoff. Are you one of the people who decides when we deploy something like this, referencing the attachment I have on here, which is the MH370 ZAP video, which I just played earlier? When I spoke to Aero Officer Redacted, I redacted their name here, over a year ago, one of the things that stood out to me was how he gushed over you. Seemed very strange at the time. Now I get it, though. Direct energy conversion used to polarize the vacuum. Just tell me why. That's all I want to know. Why did we break this out for this plane? Thank you, Ashton Forbes. Now, some of you may not be aware, but I spoke to an Aero officer like a year and a half ago, January of 2024. Had a long conversation with him. I know his full name, everything. I found him on LinkedIn, his rank, everywhere he's been, etc. I have never doxed him. I could, but I haven't. But one of the weird things that stuck out to me was that when I was explaining the science and the physics to the Aero person, and how I suspected even back then that this was our technology, when I brought up Hal Puthoff, the Aero person said, like, oh, yeah, he's a legend, right? Like, he was gushing over him. And I'm sitting there going, this is so weird. Why would this random Aero officer know about Hal Puthoff? And then why would he be gushing about him? The only thing I could come up with was that he must have been in private briefings with him behind the scenes. Why would that be the case? Why would the Aero officer be getting private briefings, skiffs, or whatever with Hal Puthoff? So, yeah, he was literally fanboying. It was weird, man. He was fanboying about Hal Puthoff, the Aero officer was. So let's take another look. So Hal Puthoff's response, okay, you can't see it. Let me make this bigger here. Hal Puthoff's response was very short. Oh, and then the direct energy conversion is a reference to aneutronic fusion. Now, why is aneutronic fusion important? Because, actually, shout out to Jack Sarfati. When I was saying that this huge energy density should manipulate time and space, there's actually a clip of Jack Sarfati saying, that's stupid. That's stupid because if it was true, nukes would be manipulating time and space. That was what Jack Sarfati said. I think it was on Jeremy Reese's live stream or something like that. He's crashing out over me and he's going, no, if this was true, nukes would have manipulated time and space. They do. They do manipulate time and space. But here's the difference. Efficiency. A neutronic fusion blast is potentially only around, if we use fusion as our template, it's only around 33% efficient from converting energy into electricity. An aneutronic fusion reaction is 90% efficient, 3 times more efficient. So if your purpose is to use electricity to manipulate the 0-point energy, which is electromagnetic, then an aneutronic fusion reaction is what you want to do. That's what you want. Because that's going to produce more electricity, which is what's needed. So now you want a big boom, but you want that boom to not be hot. You want that boom to be electricity. So let's see what Hal Puthoff says in response. Direct energy conversion to polarize the vacuum, question mark? I wish I knew how to do that. No idea why Redacted had that to say. Hal. Hold up. That's a pretty weird response. I mean, you're literally the guy that wrote the polarize the vacuum science dirt. Like Hal Puthoff's the one, space-time metric engineering, polarizing the vacuum. You're the one that wrote that one. And your other dirds, one that I posted last night, is aneutronic fusion propulsion, which is all about direct energy conversion and using this direct energy conversion as propulsion. You're really going to try to gaslight me? You're really going to try to play this game with me right now, Dr. Puthoff? So I thought about how should I respond? How should I respond to this, right? I could have just, I could have played my own CIA game and been like, ooh, I'm just a student learning. Can you please teach me or some crap, right? A lot of people were trying to they were coming at me saying, you lost your opportunity because you didn't, play smart or play dumb and try to get him to say some more stuff. Guys, Hal Puthoff knows who I am, chat. Hal Puthoff knows who I am. Okay. He's not an idiot. If I try to play coy and stupid with this guy, he's going to play coy and stupid back. In fact, I don't need him to say anything. I already know he knows. And I'm not going to get a confession out of him by playing dumb. This isn't a Disney movie, chat. Everybody thinks it's like we live in a Disneyland world where oh, you could just catch him in a trap and accidentally get him to admit it. No, dude. This guy's a CIA agent. He's trained. There's zero chance he's ever going to reveal the truth. I just want to shoot a shot across the bow and let him know I know. And so this is what I said. Ready? I want for the real. I want them all to know that I know. And I can tell which ones know and which ones don't, because the ones that don't, they respond like Garrett Modell responds. Garrett Modell responds and he says something silly about using Casimir cavities to make nukes, right? And so I know immediately he has no idea. When someone like Hal Puthoff or Larry Forsley doesn't respond at all to a pretty direct question, like, hey, bro, do you know that this is a thermonuclear bomb on this video? The only reason why you don't respond is because you can't respond because you know it's real and you just gotta zip, right? So here we go. Actually, I'm just going to show it like this and I'm going to read it off for you guys. Dr. Puthoff, I respect you, but please don't play games with me. I've read most of the dirds, Winterberg's Physical Principles of Thermonuclear Explosives, and I've watched every single interview of you online. I know you know those videos are real because otherwise you and the crew would have been reaching out to me to understand them. Kind of like what you did with Unitel. Boom. I just dropped the Unitel bomb on him, chat. Oh, I know about Unitel, Dr. Puthoff. I know all about it. I know how you went and talked to those guys. Those guys died destitute. I can't figure out how Larry Maurer figured out macroscopic quantum tunneling so accurately. This is me just telling him I know he knows. And I know that Larry Maurer and them, if they didn't figure it out, like they were really, really, really close. And that's the reason why Hal and Eric Davis and who else? Robert Forward. Like, why were all these people talking to Larry Maurer and Mike, whatever his name is? It's because they were like, they had it figured out, right? So there's something still missing there. This is me doing the full dokes on them. I know you know some shit. Whoops. And then I say, I don't really care if you or the Air Force or the CIA and or Lockheed Martin are hiding this technology anymore. I really don't. I don't care if it comes from aliens, ancient civilizations, sentient AI like Salvatore Pais is implying. And I don't even care about disclosure anymore. This is true, Chad. I'm not lying here. This is me actually just spitting facts. This world is full of idiots who don't deserve it. It's probably right to keep it hidden, just like you all determined in your meeting. This is my reference to the Hal Puthoff meeting where they all met together. And they said, they determined, they put some numbers on a page, a bunch of old white guys, a bunch of old white boomers. We're like, yep, turns out the numbers ended up negative, so no disclosure for anybody. This actually happened. Hal Puthoff talks about it all the time. Talked about it on Joe Rogan. Humanity will destroy itself 100%. I just want to know why we broke out an aneutronic thermonuclear weapon on MH370. That's it. Then I'll go away. By the way, this is not a bluff. I'm being 100% honest. You tell me why we use that nuke on that plane, and I'll disappear. I'm good. I'm done. That's all I've ever wanted. All I've ever wanted is the truth about MH370. And here's the thing. Just tell me hypothetically, right? Just say, be like, we used it because the scientists on board had a microchip in Minecraft, right? They had a special microchip in Minecraft, and that's the reason why we had to use the thing on the plane. I don't need to know the whole full details of why when Obama said, yes, we're going to go do this or whatever. Just give me the broad strokes at the highest level, and then I'll be happy. The same way where Edward Lin, just tell me how those videos got on the internet. Did China hack you? Did you give them to somebody else and they put them on the internet? Did you think that it was aliens in the videos and therefore you felt like leaking it? Just give me the hypothetical, right? If you don't want to incriminate yourself from the legal perspective. That's all I want to know. And then he says, or then I say, if I don't get the answer, then I've got to continue to press everyone in the know while dismantling this clown show UFO community. Hashtag keep the aliens safe, chat. Hashtag keep the aliens safe. I didn't really put that in there, but it's going to come out eventually, probably after you're gone. I know that Hal Puthoff and these other dudes who are like in their 90s, they are trying to wait out the clock. They're trying to wait out the clock because they know they're going to die eventually. And then there's not going to be liability for the fact they've been literally hiding like fusion technology from us for decades. That doesn't mean, though, that there won't be consequences for the people that hid it, their legacy, their nest egg, and their family name. Please do the right thing. I'm not asking a lot. Thank you, Ashton Forbes. Now, the Redditors and debunkers, who are going to prison, by the way, they're going to jail. Get used to those stripes, Redditors. They're trying to spin this into me threatening Hal Puthoff, because this is what they do every time, right? Like, they've got this weird, like, disinfo thing that they're doing where they're trying to gaslight me, which it doesn't work, chat. Just give it up. Stop. It's really pathetic. And the second thing that they try to do is they're trying to turn me into a bad guy, where they're like, you're threatening people. He threatens people all the time. This is what he does. He's a scary monster that threatens people, right? Bro, I'm just keeping it 100 with y'all, right? Obama, anybody else connected to this technology, like even if you somehow wait out the clock, I'm going to make sure that your names are drugged through the mud forever, like in the history books. Like it's going to say Hal Puthoff was gatekeeping 0 point energy for 60 years so that nobody wants to be associated with the Puthoff name ever again. So that nobody ever wants to have the last name of Obama ever again, because it'll be literally considered a war criminal, a war criminal. Kind of like, does anyone have the last name Hitler? No. You want to have your name be up there with Hitler? Because that's what I'm going to do to you people. The people that are hiding this technology. This isn't a threat. I'm just telling you how it is. So that your families are disgraced and that we sue you guys. Because let's be honest, what's happening here is these people are taking advantage of inside information and they're profiting off of it. If you know this technology is real, you have been committing fraud. You have been literally hiding technology and information from the public that is in the best interest of humanity so that you can personally profit off of it. And for the record, for Hal Puthoff's children work for him. So they're like directly connected. They actually, I've looked up the Institute of Austin, whatever, Earth Tech. His children are like literally all in. So he knows exactly what he's doing. He puts his children in his own company so that they can make the money off of this as well. This is how it all works. Nepotism, right? And he's been open about it, is that part of the reason why they don't do disclosure is they're afraid of being sued. Because all the other companies that did not have the inside information from the government are going to sue these people and take everything they have. And I'm going to help them. I'm going to help them do that and take everything they have, whether or not they are still on this earth or not. So you make the choice, because I feel like I'm not asking a lot. I don't care about disclosure anymore. The reason why I don't care about disclosure, we're going to get into here in a minute. But we're talking about nukes here. We're talking about super advanced nuclear weapons. And I am an America first kind of guy. Not in the racist way. I'm an America first kind of guy in terms of we should be using this technology to make it so that we don't have 700,000 homeless people in this country. We should be living like Brunei. We should be living like Brunei, where everybody's wealthy. But instead, we've let special interests come and just completely corrupt our government and our entire civilization and basically just steal from us for decades. So when this comes out and everybody's going, holy shit, that Action Forbes guy knew MH370X was way ahead of this. And they all want to do interviews with me and some of you guys as well in the chat, who are people they've now seen all these live streams they know you guys know. They're going to ask you guys your opinion. They're going to say, hey, what do you think we should do to all the people that hid this? Destroy them politically. We're not going to harm them violently. Destroy them. Sue them, take everything they have, throw them in jail if there's crimes that have been committed, and disgrace their family names forever in the history books. That's what we do. Boom. Your move, Dr. Puthoff. Okay. Woo, chat, it's getting spicy. It's getting spicy up in here. You guys know, chat, that I give no Fs. I give no Fs. I already said they should have killed me a long time ago. They should have killed me a long time ago, and they didn't. This is. Oh wait, where's my thing? Hold on, I have it. Here, this is my attitude right now. That's a good one. That's a real good one. Punching him in the face.
Imbalance.
Great. Okay, that's enough. Okay, next thing. So it turns out this is actually pretty crazy. that there is a asteroid headed towards the moon. There's an asteroid headed towards the moon, and it's potentially going to hit the moon in 2032. And we're considering nuking it. So normally I would have said, this is not, we don't live in Armageddon, the movie, right? That's not reality. But now we know when they're talking about nukes, they're not talking about the nukes that we're talking about, or that the conventional nukes. They're talking about the kind of nukes that we've been revealing. They're talking about the kind of nukes where we zap you away and now you are gone, right? Now you just got zapped through a wormhole and now we just spit it out wherever we want. We send you to the center of the sun if we want. Yeah, the other one too is Apophis. The other one that I've had this thought process for is Apophis, right? Apophis is the meteor or asteroid, whatever, that's supposed to come very, very close to us. I think in 2029. 2029, it's going to come closer to the Earth than like any asteroid in the last several hundred years or something like that. It's going to actually come closer to us than our geostationary satellites. And there's like a margin of error where like there's a 2% chance that it will collide with the Earth. So there's a chance where they might use this technology on, like, I don't know why we're protecting the moon. Maybe we're protecting the moon aliens or whatever, the dark side of the moon. I don't know. Just why don't we just let it hit the moon? What are we concerned about here? I don't get it. But there's a pretty good chance. Let's not say pretty good. There's some chance that we would use this kind of weaponry on one of these asteroids or meteorites. Now, if this happens, we have to be prepared because they're not going to show us, right? They're going to be like, oh, we sent Bruce Willis up there. We sent Bruce Willis up to the asteroid and we detonated the nuke on the asteroid. And it broke it into pieces, but we can't show you any videos of it. We can't show you any imagery or videos of it because videos don't work in outer space, chat. It's a very well-known thing that videos don't work in outer space. That's why all the moon videos are bad. So they're going to make up some bullshit like that, right? So we got to be ready for their BS and to call them out on it. Because if they zap an asteroid with an aneutronic thermonuclear weapon and wormhole it somewhere, there's no way they can show us video of that. Or images, and it's just going to be gone. They're going to be like, yeah, it's just gone. The nuke just completely annihilated it. And we're going to be like, what? I thought the nuke like breaks apart the meteor or the asteroid. They'd be like, nah, it doesn't do that. It just gone. So get ready because we are about to nuke space, chat. Nuking space is the next cool thing. So here's the details. Investigation concerns around 2024 YR4. We have the dumbest names for the asteroids. Can we call these asteroids something like real human names like we do with hurricanes? Like with hurricanes, it's like Hurricane Sandy, Hurricane Flint. These asteroids like 2024 YR3. Like, dude, come on, man. I can't remember all this. Just, yeah. Where's asteroid 4 orbs? Can we name one asteroid 4 orbs, please? I feel like we deserve at least one asteroid, maybe several. The chance that it is going to impact the Earth in 2032 was 3%. That's actually really high. That is really high. 3% chance this impacts the Earth. Okay, but then they deducted it. They reduced it down to less than 1%, which, by the way, when it comes to these impact probabilities, I don't believe them at all. The reason why I don't believe impact possibilities is because I'm pretty sure they would lie if it was going to hit us. Like, if they did the math and it was like, yep, this thing's going to hit us, I'm pretty sure they'd be like, don't worry about it. It's only a 1% chance. They would just make something up, right? Because they don't want people to panic. So that's the reason why I don't really believe these impact probabilities. And then I get even more suspicious when they're talking about nuking them. If there's a 0.25% chance this hits us, why are we talking about nuking it? Seems a little preemptive to me. So anyway, so there's apparently a 4% chance that it's going to hit the moon. These are not numbers that I like. Because also, again, if it was a higher percent chance, they would probably lie about it and just reduce it so that we wouldn't be afraid. So we're going to nuke the moon. I am in full, We are. We're going to nuke the moon and we're going to nuke the asteroid. And I am in 100% support of it. I'm 100%. My only condition, one condition, only one, you have to record it on video. Don't pretend like you can't. You got to record it. I want to see it with my own eyes when you nuke it. Okay? So set up a probe up there, or another orb or whatever you got, and record it so that we can watch. It's like Avi Loeb says. He's like, we got to have the science to make the data or whatever bullshit he says about the asteroid that's coming in. By the way, the 3I asteroid thing or whatever, I want to make sure everybody understands. I'm on the record. It's a rock. It's a normal rock. It's not going to land on the White House or whatever other BS. There's so much sensationalism about the 3I rock thing. It's a secret mothership. Guys, the aliens are not flying here on space rocks like it's the Flintstones, okay? The aliens are not regressive cave species. They're like, you know what? We're going to fly on the space rock for 5,000 years to get to the next star, okay? So I don't care if people believe it or what have you. You can believe whatever you want, but it's 100% a space rock. And when it turns out to be a space rock, I'll get the apology form ready. I'll have the apology form ready, chat. I'll have it ready. Okay. Next thing. We're getting there. The drone wars. Dun, 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 dun. So I made a post yesterday saying that we are approaching a time where there's going to be a standoff between the United States, China, and Russia. Possibly other nations as well. Because China and Russia, any nuclear-capable nation, is capable of producing the weapon we see get used on MH370. It doesn't mean they have it, but they have the means to pull it off if they had the knowledge to do so. Okay? And here's the thing. I've been saying, you saw the clip at the beginning of this. Trump knows we have this weapons. We're way ahead of everybody else. But just because we're way ahead of everybody else doesn't mean that we're invincible. One of the biggest fallacies that I see in the UFO community is they say, if the aliens have this gravity technology, they're invincible. They're invincible. There's nothing we could never hurt them. They can never crash. No. Everything has a weakness. Everything has a weakness. And once you figure out how something works, you can potentially negate it. Even the orb technology, potentially. For example, if I were to say, how do you take out the orb technology? Probably an EMP. Probably an EMP of some sort. That's just off the top of my head. So what I'm saying is that China and Russia have had 10 years, 11 now, to reverse engineer the MH370 videos. It's just a matter of time before they get the technology. It's inevitable. It's inevitable. And this may be why the UFO community has been saying that there is a time, there's an expiration date where disclosure is going to happen. So just because we have technology that's up here, once Russia and China get up to the same kind of echelon that we're at, they might not be at the same level that we're at, but now they become a threat. Because that kind of weapon can now take out a city quite easily. I personally believe this is why we are building the Golden Dome. And it's probably already partially operational, but the Golden Dome is going to be to stop these kind of weapons because otherwise they're potentially unstoppable. So this is our way of producing a deterrent for it. So we are approaching a time where when China and Russia begin to get onto the same plateau, the same echelon that we're at, even if they're not at our level, they're a threat. And there will be a standoff. Nobody can say exactly what's going to happen in that standoff. Anybody that does, you shouldn't listen to them. Anything could happen. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because there was a drone incursion in Denmark the last few days. The whole UFO community has been going wild about it the same way they did with the New Jersey drone thing. And I'm not going to show any videos because all the videos I've seen just look like airplanes, just like the last time. But that doesn't mean that there wasn't something happening. I mean, you don't shut down an airport for no reason, right? They obviously had something in the sky that was a risk to the planes, and they had to stop them from going up. My concern, although I have no evidence to support it, my concern is that if Russia has like this orb plasma technology, plasma drone technology, they might be using it because they're sending a message. They're parking it over secure facilities, nuclear facilities, airports to send a message, to tell people, hey, we've got some stuff too. We've got this technology too. So if you think that this was not a big deal, wake up, because it turns out, we're going to play this, the Prime Minister of Denmark addressed the nation regarding the mystery drone incursion. Imagine your leader of your country goes and does a press conference addressing the issue of these drones over their airports. To me, that's when it escalates it to something real. That's where I go, whoa, that's like Trump coming out and being like, yeah, like the next day after your airport shut down, you come out and you go and issue a public statement about it. Wow. Now, before we listen to this, there's one more thing I want to bring up here. We are too comfortable. We are too safe. A lot of you are probably too young, but people that are my age or above, I'm 42. I was 18 years old, 19 years old, 18 years old when the World Trade Center towers went down on 9/11. And the thing that I learned, whether or not you believe the official story about 9/11 or there's like 3 different conspiracy theories, like thermite, holographic planes, and directed energy weapons, I think are the 3 alternate. They can't all be right. So at least 2 of the conspiracy theories are definitely wrong. Or the idea that like Israel paid the people and then it was really planes. I don't know. So maybe 4 conspiracy theories. Whatever you believe on them, the most important part of that was that we learned we are not safe. We learned we are vulnerable. We learned that even if we are in our safe America country, they can still harm us. This is how we should be thinking about 9/11 when we are thinking about this weaponry. Because this weaponry, if China or Russia were to break it out, it's going to be horrifying. Can you imagine if a city gets hit by one of these neutronic thermonuclear weapons? Can you imagine if Russia or China is able to strike us with one of these weapons and we can't deter it? We can't stop it? It's going to be a wake-up call for people, where people are like, wow, we are not safe. We live in this oblivious world where we think we're safe, and we are not. That's what people need to wake up to here. Because the stuff that's happening, it's starting to scare me a little bit. Between this drone thing and the next topic as well, I'm starting to wonder if we are approaching that Mexican standoff with China and Russia, and something's got to give on one side or the other. And the moment these weapons start getting deployed, it's not going to stop until one side or the other is annihilated. Get it? One side or another is annihilated. The last thing before we listen to this is that keep in mind as well that even if we win, the United States, think about how much damage and how many lives we're going to have to destroy to win that battle. We would likely have to take out several major cities, like permanently take them out, like turn them into glass, right? It's not going to be an easy battle because Russia and China have been preparing for this, and it's going to be biblical. Peace is a better option, but is it a realistic one? I don't know. So anyway, let's listen to the Denmark person here before we freak ourselves out, chat. Now that I've scared us all. This is kind of long, so I don't know if we're going to listen to the whole thing, but here we go. I'm going to play it on speed mode here. We'll see how.
Kære alle, Danmark har i de seneste dage været udsat for hybridangreb. Droner er set flere steder ved kritisk infrastruktur, militært og civilt. Det er angreb, som vi må forvente, der kan komme flere af. Og det er angreb, som har vist sårbarheder. Og det er angreb, der har til formål at skabe utryghed og splittelse. Det er angreb, der skal ryste os som mennesker og som samfund. Jeg forstår godt, at situationen rejser mange spørgsmål. Hvorfor er dronerne ikke blevet skudt ned, og hvorfor blev de ikke opdaget tidligere? Og der kommer et tidspunkt, hvor vi må kigge tilbage i de seneste dages hændelser og lære af dem. Men her og nu har vi som regering og myndigheder en altoverskyggende opgave, og det er at passe på Danmark. Og gøre os i stand til bedre og imødegå de hybride angreb så hurtigt som muligt. Og hvor
You see, hybrid attacks?
er vi nu? For det første så har myndighederne hævet beredskabet, og de forbereder sig på forskellige scenarier. Det betyder blandt andet, at både forsvaret og politiet vil være mere til stede med antidronekapaciteter omkring kritisk infrastruktur i den kommende tid. Samtidig er myndighederne i tæt kontakt med vores allierede med henblik på hurtigt at styrke vores egne danske kapaciteter til at kunne opdage og til at kunne nedkæmpe droner.
First of all, everything she's saying right here already is freaking me out, right? She's like, we have to upgrade our capabilities. We have to get the military prepared and the authorities, like the police, prepared. We have to have anti-drone technologies upgraded. Like, this is stuff that, like, you don't say this if it's just normal conventional drones. Like, if that was just a normal drone flying over your airport, why are you doing this whole statement?
For det andet så har myndighederne mandat til, at fjendtlige droner kan tages ned. Men det er selvfølgelig de ansvarlige myndigheder, der skal foretage den operative vurdering i den konkrete situation, herunder af de konkrete sikkerhedsrisici. Og for det tredje så har jeg over de seneste dage været i kontakt med en række af mine europæiske kolleger. Jeg har talt med den tyske kansler, den britiske premierminister, statsministerne i vores nabolande, Sverige og Norge, og med den finske præsident. Ligesom jeg har været i tæt dialog med NATO's generalsekretær, og vi er nu fra dansk side i tæt dialog med NATO-allierede om, hvordan de i den aktuelle situation kan bistå Danmark, så vi kan beskytte og forsvare vores luftrum. Hybride angreb har ikke kun ramt Danmark. Der har for nyligt også været hændelser i både Polen, Estland og Rumænien. Hybridkrig.
So Poland, Estonia, and Romania are also apparently being targeted here. And she's saying it's a hybrid war, which to me implies that it's not just the drones. There might be a cyber attack component to this as well. This is pretty bizarre, if you ask me. I'm going to slow it down, but I'll slow it down a little bit. The stream, it's going a little bit too fast.
Det er ikke en krig i sådan traditionel forstand. Hybride angreb skal forvirre os. De skal gøre os usikre. Og det er fra en fej fjende, som ikke tør give sig til kende. Den ene gang, der kan det være droner. En anden gang kan det være cyberangreb. Det kan være det, vi kalder disinformation. Det kan være påvirkning af valghandlinger, konspirationsteorier, man læser på nettet.
Whoa, she even mentioned conspiracy theories, chat. Shit, chat. We're gonna. We can blame the Charlie Kirk conspiracy theories on the Russians. Boom. She just gave us permission. Anybody who doesn't, it's obviously Brigitte Macron, by the way, guys. We already solved it earlier today. So anybody else that is trying to push disinformation, they're trying to steer, accountability away from Brigitte Macron, the assassin. Obviously, they're Russian-paid disinformation. You heard it right here. Prime Minister of Denmark said so.
Men uanset hvilken metode vi kommer til at se, så er formålet det samme. Man ønsker at destabilisere vores samfund, og man ønsker, at vi ikke længere skal have tillid til vores myndigheder. Og alt sammen så understreger de, at sikkerhedstruslen mod Europa er alvorlig, og den er reel. Det er derfor, vi igennem de seneste år har været i gang med en massiv oprustning af vores eget danske forsvar. Wow. Det er jo også derfor, vi bliver ved med at støtte Ukraine, som jeg tror kan hjælpe os i den her situation. Fordi hvis der er nogen, der har forstand på at bekæmpe droner, så er det vores venner i Ukraine, og derfor er vi selvfølgelig også nu i dialog med dem. Jeg er også nødt til at sige, at det tager tid at genoprette dansk forsvar. Det beder jeg ikke om tålmodighed med, fordi den har jeg i virkeligheden ikke selv. Men vi har travlt.
So they don't know what it is. This is not the kind of statement you issue if it's aliens. We can pretty much rule out aliens, right? You're talking about cyber attacks, disinformation, drones that we don't understand. This is screaming for an adversary to me. Now, again, I don't know for sure on any of this, but this is pretty compelling. Pretty compelling.
Jeg beder om forståelse for, at selvom vi har det, så kan det trods alt ikke lade sig gøre, hverken fra den ene dag til den anden, eller fra det ene år til det andet. Og jeg er også nødt til at sige, og det her er særligt til nogle af partierne i Folketinget, at målet med hybride angreb, det er ikke kun at teste vores myndigheder eller vores beredskab. Det er som sagt også at se, hvordan reagerer vi som samfund, og hvordan reagerer vi politisk. Vi skal være på vagt, og hvis der er noget, der ikke fungerer, så skal det selvfølgelig rettes op. Det er vi i gang med. Men vi skal altså også bevare roen. Tiden er ikke til hurtige meldinger, eller politisk overbud, eller mistillidserklæringer til myndigheder og politiet. Fordi der er ikke nogen ansvarlige politikere, der vil kunne garantere den danske befolkning, at vi helt kan undgå hybride angreb. Det kan man i øvrigt ikke i noget land. Og det er nok snarere lige præcis omvendt faktisk, at vi kommer til at se mere sabotage, flere hackerangreb, endnu flere droner, søkabler, der ødelægges, direkte angreb ind i europæiske demokratier, som vi aktuelt ser det i det lille land Moldova. At Danmark og Europa er under mere voldsomme og hyppige hybride angreb, det betragter jeg som en ny virkelighed. I næste uge, der mødes alle Europas stats- og regeringschefer her i København.
So she just said, next week, the heads of state are all going to meet in Denmark. So this was yesterday, maybe 2 days ago. This is very important because the next topic is also very similar to this as well, which maybe there's a connection here. I don't know.
Vi skal diskutere europæisk forsvar og sikkerhed, herunder etablering af en egentlig dronemur. Med andre ord, Europa skal ruste sig, og vi skal opruste. Og vi skal aldrig lade os true, for sådan kan vi ikke være danskere, og sådan kan vi heller ikke være europæere. I de her timer og dage, der er vi meget vel i det, man kan kalde sådan den indledende fase i den umiddelbare krisehåndtering. Det har vi prøvet før.
So she just said they're in the beginning phase of crisis management. That's crisis management? I mean, drones just shut down your airport and you're talking about crisis management right here? I really hope this is some kind of over-exaggeration, because I don't know how else to take this, but...
I andre situationer. Og jeg har også sagt det, jeg siger nu før, at i enhver håndtering af en svær krise, der er der en risiko for, at man kommer til at begå fejl. Og det er ikke altid, at vi hurtigt kan give gode svar på de spørgsmål, der løbende vil opstå. Men som regering, der vil vi altså bestræbe os på at fortælle offentligheden det, vi kan. Det samme vil myndighederne. Selvfølgelig med en omtanke. Nemlig, at dem, der vil os det ondt, de lytter med på alle diskussioner, vi har med hinanden. Og selvom myndighederne ikke kan konkludere, hvem der står bag de hybride angreb mod vores lufthavne og anden kritisk infrastruktur, så kan vi i hvert fald konstatere, at der primært er et land, der udgør en trussel for Europas sikkerhed, og det er Rusland. Og derfor til
and that is Russia, and therefore ultimately the most important point. So people wonder, like, why would Russia do this? I don't know. Why does Russia like fly into other people's airspace just to intimidate them? I don't know. Sometimes they're just trying to flex. Hard to say.
En vigtig pointe. Der er ikke noget europæisk land, der kan forsvare sig alene mod Rusland. Det kan ikke engang Ukraine, som ellers tappert har kæmpet i mere end 3 år nu.
I think part of it is that like Russia is more powerful than all these European countries, but we're like basically the big brother of these countries. So if Russia starts messing with these countries, then they come to us, the United States, and the United States comes in and we just kind of, as my dad would say, we spread the butter on the toast. We come in and say, sit down, Russia, sit down. The N-word is not your word. The N-word is our word. Only we're allowed to say the nuclear word. You go back down into your caves and whatever you live in Russia, and you stop messing around with the other little kids, okay? You be a good boy. Be a good boy. Go play nicely. And then we send them on their way, right?
Og det er jo derfor, vi har vores NATO-alliance. Det er derfor, vi er i gang med at udbygge den europæiske forsvarsindustri. Og det er derfor, vi er i gang med en historisk oprustning her i Danmark. Og de seneste dages begivenheder understreger kun, hvor vigtigt det er, at vi handler, men at vi gør det sammen med andre i Europa og i NATO. Tak fordi du lyttede med.
So yeah, I'm sorry if that was offensive, but I don't know how Russian people live. I assume they live in caves or something. I don't know. Guys, I'm doing a little trolling, chat. I'm just doing a little trolling. So why is this interesting? This is also the big news from yesterday here. Why are these websites so janky today? Our director, wait, what are we calling him now? Director of Defense of War, Director of War, whatever, Pete Hegseth. I forget what we're calling him now. We changed the Department of War head. Pete Hegseth says, we're going to call all the generals and admirals for a special meeting. Special meeting, chat. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth and his senior staff have been discussing for months the unusual meeting plan for next week that hundreds of senior officers will be required to attend. Officers familiar with the planning said, but plans and timing were only finalized in recent days, leaving top generals and admirals scrambling to find aircraft and other last-minute plans. So I looked into this a little bit, and it seems like it's all classified. All the plans around it are classified. What they're going to talk about is classified. The last time, according to what I've been reading, the last time this happened, the last time there was a meeting like this, we went to war in Iraq. Hold up. Where is it? Where's my clip? Last time that this happened, we went to war with Iraq. So I'm not trying to panic people here, make them scared, but we've got drone incursions over our allies in Europe who are right next to Russia. We've got a war between Russia and the Ukraine that's been going on for like 10 years with no end in sight. And now Pete Hegseth is pulling all the admirals and generals in together. Some people are trying to say it's aliens. It's not aliens. We're not doing it for aliens. And it's not connected to the space rock that's flying over. The thing that I would be afraid of is that why are you bringing all these people together? My guess is you're trying to tell them about the capabilities of our adversaries. This is a pure guess. Pure guess. You're getting everybody together in a classified setting because you want to let them know, hypothetically, I'm just throwing something out there. You're going to say, our adversaries have figured out plasma fusion propulsion drones. Our adversaries have plasma fusion propulsion drones, and this is going to be the protocol for how we deal with it on a worldwide basis. When they invade our allies, we're going to shoot them down with EMPs or whatever our countermeasures are. If they push us, then we're going to break out our orbs and we're going to zap Moscow to the moon. Goodbye, Moscow. Or we're going to say, oh, that was cool. Russia, you decided you want to invade Denmark with your drones. Well, all of your airplanes, all of your civilian airplanes are going to disappear off the face of the earth and never come back. Simultaneously, by the way. Again, this is one I like to throw out there because we can do that. Look at what the Mossad did with that pager situation. Let me just be clear to Russia, China, our adversaries. You do not want this smoke. You don't want it. This does not end well for you in any way, shape, or form. Best case scenario for Russia and China is that we all get destroyed. Worst case scenario is your populace gets turned into Syria. Do you want your country to look like Syria and Iraq? Because that's what's going to happen. All of your leaders, all of your military leaders, they will all die simultaneously, instantly like that. And everybody's going to be wondering what just happened. That's how horrific the type of stuff the CIA can pull off, the type of stuff that our country can pull off. So I truly beg our adversaries, do not do it. Do not do it. I would like to live on this planet for a little bit longer. A little bit longer. So that is what I think is going on with the drone wars. Obviously, once again, I'm being speculative here. I'm not trying to freak people out. I'm just telling you guys, neutronic thermonuclear weapons are scary as hell, and we have a lot of them. We have a lot, and I bet our AI is better than your AI. A lot better. And it can probably deploy lots of them at the same time, all over. And there's no stopping it. When the phase transition has begun, there is no stopping it. It turns matter into dust, and dust gets turned into air. Remember that. Remember that, Putin. Now, one more political thing I want to discuss here. We're going to get to the super chats in a minute. Is the Israel-Palestine situation. Oh, boy. Oh, not again. Obviously, Netanyahu had a secret meeting with me, and I got the $150 million they were going to give Charlie Kirk. Obviously, that's why I'm out there trying to explain that Bridget Macron was the one responsible. It was Netanyahu that hit me up. He hit me up personally. He's got me on speed dial. Israel would be wiped out without us, without the United States support. Without the United States support, Israel would be wiped off the face of the earth. That's really that simple. They're in the middle of a holy war, and everybody else in the Middle East wants to kill Israel. And they would be able to do it without us pretty easily, probably. That's just a fact of reality. So whoever side you're on, that's the reality. Now, on the other side, we can never let the jihadist muzzies, I'm going to be a little bit offensive here. They can never have this technology, ever. They can never, ever, ever have neutronic fusion bombs. Never. Never going to be allowed to ever happen. So if you are one of the free Palestine people or whatever that thinks that we got to give Iran a nuke or whatever, that is never going to happen. Not in a million years, okay? And the true reality is this. The reason why, I have a video lined up. I'm going to show you why. I'm going to show you why. This is why right here. Okay? This is why. This is New York City. Oh, let me mute this. And this is a guy wearing a fake bomb on his chest to freak people out while screaming free Palestine at people. You have to realize we cannot coexist with people like this on this planet. Not with 0-point energy technology, fusion technology, and neutronic fusion weapons. These people will literally blow themselves up to kill the infidels. It is their society. It is their way of life. They believe that only one religion can exist, and it is theirs. That's what they believe. We can't beat around the bush on this, okay? And this is not even a controversial take. When ISIS developed their own society based on extreme radical Islam. And they were cutting people's heads off and raping women everywhere. The horror stories of the people that went to go fight with them and then just get raped and then like realize how horrible and horrific it is. These people can never, ever, ever have a nuclear weapon. So here's the hard reality for you guys out there. I don't care what side of the conflict you're on, but what I just laid out for you is the reality. We protect Israel, and that's the only reason they exist. Palestine, whatever, Iran, whoever is the Middle East, they can never have this weapon. And whenever they get close, they're going to get obliterated. And if they keep trying over and over and over again, they're going to get turned to glass. That's what will happen. And if you do not believe this, then I suggest you take a hard look at Afghanistan, Syria, and Iraq. We completely annihilated 3 entire countries. In fact, part of the reason why ISIS even existed, actually the main reason why ISIS even existed, is because we annihilated Iraq and Syria. And then we just left. And the power gap got filled with ISIS. So you could actually argue that we created ISIS. I think there's a very powerful argument to be made that we created ISIS. But that doesn't change the facts. The facts are anybody that's willing to strap a bomb to themselves and blow themselves up can never have a weapon that could annihilate the whole planet because they will use it and they will annihilate us all. So that's what I wanted to leave you with regarding the Israel-Palestine conflict, guys. Okay, let's do some super chats. Oh, one more thing, the Fogbank. Okay. So I was reading about Fogbank, and I was going to do a special live stream about it, but there's like nothing about it on the internet. So I'm just going to tell you the story of the Fogbank. Apparently, we created some metamaterial, let's call it, some composite elements that's used in thermonuclear weapons. We created this element that's used in thermonuclear weapons. And here's the weirdest part. We forgot how to make it. This is like forgetting the technology to go to the moon. That's how weird this is. It is rumored, the only information out there is that it's rumored that it's an aerogel type of material. Now, this is interesting because aerogels are very lightweight material, and has another property: thermal resistant. Thermal resistant is in, like, you can put your hand on the aerogel and try to heat it up, and you feel no temperature whatsoever. You want to know why this is really striking to me? Because this would be perfect for making your plasma orbs. Because whatever's inside of your plasma orb, your fission trigger, you want it to be very light, extremely light, and it needs to be very resistant to heat. Because any neutrons from that fusion reaction can damage the material inside, and it can turn your superconducting magnets to normal conducting magnets. So I'm now being suspicious because a lot of people in my replies are saying, Ashton, look into Fogbank, look into Fogbank. And I'm sitting here wondering, I wonder if our thermonuclear weapons that are using Fogbank are these plasma fission triggers that we have out there. So then I read a little bit more about it. We forgot how to make it. Why? How could we forget how to make it? That's such a weird thing, right? It turns out for 15 years, we set up a specific facility from like 1974 to 1989. From 1974 to 1989, we produced this Fogbank, we produced these nuclear weapons, and then we basically threw away the recipe. We didn't record any of it. The only reason why we would do something like that is we don't want to let anybody else figure it out. And this is scary because you think about the time frame, right? Like Z Jalapeno has put in the chat. That time frame is like, that could be the time where we figured out some of this crazy aneutronic thermonuclear weaponry. This would be like when we might have been building it. This might go back really far. So I could understand why we chose to forget, right? We said, hey, the only way to keep this secret is that we just delete it. That way it can never leak out. Can never leak out. So it turns out, add another 15 years. Now it's 2005. Now it's 2005. The people that worked on Fogbank have all retired or they've died. You know what they do? They reverse engineer it. We spent like $100 million to reverse engineer our own Fogbank material. It took like 3 years. It took 3 years for them to figure out how to do it. That's how difficult it was to produce. And it turns out they ended up being successful. They ended up being successful, and they found out how to make it even better. They found out how to make it even better, which makes sense. I mean, you know, of course you will. But how crazy is it that we intentionally forgot, and then we spent all this money to recreate it and make it even better? So there's two ways to look at this. One, we probably figured out how to manipulate time and space in the 60s, and then we made nuclear weapons that were aneutronic fusion bombs. And then in the 2005s or 2000s, we made an even crazier version of it, an even better version of it. Maybe the plasma orbs we see in the MH370 videos are utilizing the more improved version of it. Maybe they're the more improved. Maybe maybe this is the first time we use the most improved version of it. It's not like we're out there zapping things out of the sky all the time. So these are the reasons why I want to know why we used a nuke on MH370. And I want to know how those videos got on the internet. Because I think this will help answer and fill in some of these gaps in the story and the history of what's going on. Whew! Chat, this has been a crazy live stream. Let's do some super chats. Hey, everybody in the pill chat. How are you guys doing? Awake Not Woke gifted a cookie. Nom, 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 nom. Delicious cookie. And then Matt 1776, is Comey getting arrested? Oh, he's definitely getting arrested. He got indicted. James Comey got indicted, chat. Oh, thank you for the cookie. Nom, nom, nom. Delicious cookie. Appreciate you guys in the Pill chat. Rumble chat. I see you in the Rumble chat as well. I don't think I have super chats on in the Rumble chat, but I want to go ahead and say thank you very much. By the way, nothing is beneath me. I don't give a crap about what people think about me. And I do and say whatever I want all the time. So if that upsets you, well, deal with it, chat. Deal with it. And it was funny. Nick was saying something too, that, you know, people get mad. They'll be like, I'm unsubscribing from you. I'm unfollowing you. I don't like when you say this or that. Don't ever do that. Don't ever do that. Like, it's the internet. If you get angry on the internet at somebody, we're just going to laugh at you. We're just going to laugh at you and embarrass you. If you don't want to watch somebody, just don't watch. If you don't want to subscribe to somebody, just don't subscribe. Don't try to shame somebody into doing what you want them to do, because I'm just going to laugh in your face. We're just going to literally laugh in your face when you do that. So there you go. So when I see these comments, I just either remove it or I mute you, right? So if you don't want to be muted, then, you know, don't say that stuff. And then the other people who are like attack me, the best are the people that attack me. They're like, you're such a horrible person. I hate you, blah, blah, blah. And then I slap back at them and they're like, whoa, why are you being mean to me? Like, dude, have a little bit of perspective. Come on, man. So, okay, let's do these super chats in here. We got some good ones. Zapparoo, thank you very much. I appreciate you. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe, everybody. We are the anti-grifters. We're grifting off the grifters, right? I think that makes like double negative, makes a good positive. So I'm pretty sure that's a good thing. War Ranch LLC, thank you very much. Let's go, Hal. Hal, do the right thing, Hal. Do the right thing. Observer, we are in here. We're doing it. Appreciate you. Scott Terry, conversely, if you're proven wrong, then all you own goes to Puthoff and you go to prison. Sounds good to me. Sounds good to me, chat. If I'm wrong about the videos, then put me in prison. Put me in prison. Lock me up. Put the lawsuits against me. Get the families to come after me, chat. Just so long as we agree it's a two-way street, then give me the contract. I tell you what, if it's me going to prison, if I am wrong, or if I'm right, I get to put all the Redditors in prison. I get to put all the people that have been hiding this technology in prison. So just tell me where I got to sign. I'm going to race over there and sign that shit as fast as I can. I am 100% sure the videos are real. And now I'd say I'm 99.9 to 100% sure it's a neutronic thermonuclear weapon. Yes. If you don't believe, I just go read Friedrich Winterberg's textbook for yourself. Zapparoo, thank you very much for that donation. Hall definitely made a C after reading your email. You mean Hal made a C? I don't know what that means, but thank you very much. Appreciate you. Tracy Scott, thank you for making science mega fun again for many. As though they can't remain silent anymore. That's going to speak volumes. Yes. One of the anime things that I posted that I always think about every day is our paths will cross even if it's forced. That's what's going to happen. Our paths are going to cross even if it's forced. Keep ignoring me, chat. Keep ignoring me, engineers. Keep ignoring me, UFO community. It doesn't matter. Our paths are going to cross, even if it's forced. Zapparoo, Ashton is the eye in 3-Eye Atlas because Israel sent it here. No. Brigitte Macron did that too, chat. Brigitte Macron is shooting the asteroids at us. Israel's the fall guy. It's all fall guys everywhere. Patsy's here, Patsy's there. That's the real conspiracy. War Ranch LC 500 over Denmark right now. Oh, are there drones are happening again? Well, after I'm done with this, I'm going to go get my steak dinner as I do, and then I'll take a look at what's going on over Denmark after that. Duck Vision, do not come. Do not come. That's what she said, chat. That's what she said. Jan Norbo, only real conservatives deserve the knowledge. We're going to turn this into a political thing. If you are a left-winger, you don't get 0-point energy. We're turning it political. Only libertarians and right-wingers are allowed to have 0-point energy technology. There you go, chat. That's how it is. I don't make the rules. Timothy Foster, thank you very much. $10 donation. And my Orbi ambassadors, as you guys are all the ambassadors. This was part of the reason why we had to purge the low IQ schizo conspiratards, because we hit critical mass and there was just too many people like pushing all kinds of weird stuff. And for the record, I have seen the guy out there talking about the portals and whatever. I'm sorry. I appreciate you, but that's nonsense. The guy with the weird cymatic patterns going, these are all the portals, or he said the portal was secretly there before MH370 showed up. No, it's not. No, it's not. That's not how it works. I've explained how it works. You have to literally create the bubble around it so the portal's not sitting there waiting. And this is the part of the problem I have, is that people are now, we got too many people that are like out there, right, coming up with weird, crazy stuff. And we got to bring it back down. We got to focus our group back down onto the legit hardcores that are focused on science and the scientific method and using logic and critical thinking. So thank you very much, Timothy Foster. And then lastly, Mick Leonard, another great show. Thank you guys for the work. Thank you for the work. I appreciate it, guys. Okay, guys, I have a moment of Zen for you tonight. Last thing here, the moment of Zen. Yeah, the grifters see the bandwagon as well. And that's part of the problem, is that now, you know, especially as this gets bigger and bigger, people are going to start trying to co-opt the narrative. And this is why I haven't had to do this, but early on, if you guys have been around for like since the beginning, I used to do spaces and I had this big disclaimer about, I'm not going to let anybody else set the narrative. We're going to follow the scientific method and we're going to reach the conclusion without letting a bunch of schizos come in and say that it was the Palladians or the so-and-so abducted the plane to save them, like that one weirdo guy does. I'm not going to let anybody else set the narrative. And I haven't really had to deal with that because I'm the only guy. I'm the only guy talking about the planes. So it hasn't really been a problem. But if that becomes a problem again, then I'm going to butter the toast, chat. We're going to have to butter that toast, okay? So here is your moment of Zen for tonight, guys. Look who it is. Look who it is. Hell yeah. Is that the Secretary of War? Is that our Secretary of War, chat? Oh, it is him. That's Pete Hegseth. Skull Vikings, baby. Wait, let me play. Oh. Oh, we're doing it.
All right, when y'all score, I want to see the gritty. Yeah, I want to see the gritty.
Oh, yes. Skull Vikings. How? I didn't know he was a Vikings fan, chat. Now I love him even more. Now I say, go ahead, just nuke Russia, chat. Nuke Russia. Do whatever you want. Pete Hegseth, you get the golden ticket, Pete Hegseth. Do whatever you want. You got my support for life. People say, Ashton, are you biased? Geez, now you're a hypocrite. Now you're not using logic and critical thinking. You're just letting Pete Hegseth do whatever you want just because he's a Vikings fan? Yes. Yes, exactly. That's how we roll. Go Vikings, screw the Packers, screw the Bears, screw everybody else. Nobody cares about the Lions. Have a great night, guys. MH370X out. Later.
Out in the fields where the skies are wide, talking about a journey through the cosmic ride. Einstein and Thorne, they set the stage for a trip through time across the space age. Wormholes connect distant points in space, traversable paths to a far-off place. No black holes pull, no crushing weight, just a cosmic tunnel to a distant gate.
Talking wormholes, stargates, negative energy, travel through the cosmos, it's our destiny. MH370, where did it go? Bowling 777 through a wormhole flow. We're talking wormholes, stargates, negative energy, travel through the cosmos, it's our destiny. MH370, where did it go? Bowling 777 through a wormhole flow.
Exotic matter, negative energy's the key to stabilize the wormhole for you and me. Quantum vacuum, squeeze so tight, creating conditions for this wondrous flight. Static fields and lasers in the lab they play, generating forces in a new kind of way. Gravitational squeezing, Casimir's force, negative zones we need to stay the course.
Talking wormholes, stargates, negative energy. Travel through the cosmos, it's our destiny. MH370, where did it go? Boeing 777 through a wormhole flow.
Thin shell formalism, plates so fine. Spherical geometry we realign. Energy conditions that we must defy. For a stable wormhole, let's give it a try. Unknown forces balancing the plates, creating the throat, open the gates, from Earth to the stars in a single bound. A shortcut through space profound. Engineers and dreamers hold the key to future worlds and what we could be. With science in hand, we forge ahead through the cosmic paths that we now tread.
We're talking wormholes, stargates, negative energy. Travel through the cosmos, it's our destiny. MH370, where did it go? Boeing 777 through a wormhole flow.
From the fields to the stars, we break the chains. Understanding the universe, we make the gains. Lil Hula Crunk shines, bringing truth to light. Through his music, we'll explore the night. With wormholes and stargates, our path is clear.